Proverbs 17, Phase 1. One better is a dry morsel with quietness than a house full of feasting with strife. This teaches that peace and can have rule over a son who causes shame and will share the inheritance among the brothers. This is saying that discernment, diligence, and competence can surpass status or privilege when moral integrity guides action. 3. The refining pot is for silver and the furnace for gold, but the Lord tests the heart. This teaches that God examines motives and character, shaping and purifying the inner person through trials. 4. An evildoer listens to wicked lips, a liar listens to a mischievous tongue. This is saying that moral alignment draws people to compatible influence. The wicked are attracted to folly and deception. 5. Whoever mocks the poor reproaches his maker, and he who is glad at calamities will not go unpunished. This teaches that contempt for the vulnerable reflects disrespect toward God, and malicious delight in others' suffering carries consequence. 6. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children is their fathers. This is saying that generational relationships are a source of honor, the blessing and legacy. 7. Excellent speech is not fitting for a fool, much less are lying lips for a prince. This teaches that wisdom and integrity are prerequisites for influence and authority, while deceit undermines credibility and power. 8. A bribe is a magic stone in the eyes of the one who gives it. Wherever he turns, he prospers. This is saying that bribery creates the illusion of success, though it is corrupt. 9. He who covers a transgression seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates close friends. This teaches that discretion preserves relationships, while gossip is standing than 100 blows into a fool. This teaches that wise people respond to correction, while fools resist even repeated discipline. 11. An evil man seeks only rebellion. Therefore, a cruel messenger will be sent against him. This teaches that persistent wickedness provokes inevitable consequence and correction. 12. Let a man meet a bear robbed of her cubs rather than a fool in his folly. This is saying that uncontrolled foolishness can be more dangerous than even life-threatening danger. 13. Whoso rewards evil for good, evil shall not depart from his house. This teaches that responding to kindness with wrongdoing perpetuates harm and destroys personal stability. The beginning of strife is like letting out water. Therefore, stop contention before it breaks out. This is saying that early intervention in conflict prevents escalation. Proactive restraint preserves relationships. 15. He who justifies the wicked in hand to buy wisdom when he has no understanding. This is saying that resources alone cannot produce discernment. Moral and intellectual readiness is required. 17. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. This teaches that genuine relationships endure, especially in hardship. 18. A man lacking sense pledges and puts up security in the presence of his neighbor. This is saying that rash financial or social decisions can entangle the unwary in avoidable obligations and risk. 19. He who loves transgression loves strife, and he who exalts his gate seeks destruction. This teaches that moral deviation and self-exaltation lead naturally to conflict and harm. 20. He who has a perverse heart finds no good, and he who has a deceitful tongue falls into calamity. This is saying that internal corruption manifests outwardly, producing predictable ruin. 21. He who begets a fool does so to his sorrow, and the father of a fool has no joy. This teaches that nurturing folly brings grief and frustration. 22. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. This is saying that joy strengthens life, while despair weakens it. 23. A wicked man accepts a bribe secretly to pervert the ways of justice. This teaches that corruption undermines trust, fairness, and societal stability. 24. The discerning sets his face toward wisdom, but the eyes of a fool are on the ends of the earth. This teaches that wisdom is focused, while folly is distracted and scattered. 25. A foolish son is a grief to his father, and bitterness to her who bore him. This teaches that folly affects more than the individual. It wounds family and relationships. 26. To punish a cool spirit is a man of understanding. This teaches that self-control in speech reflects wisdom. 28. Even a fool who keeps silent is considered wise. When he closes his lips, he is deemed intelligent. This is saying that restraint can make even the foolish appear wise. Proverbs 17, Phase 2, Historical and Cultural Anchorings. Proverbs 17 reflects an Israelite society in which family, community, and personal conduct were deeply interconnected. Peace within the household was valued above abundance, accompanied by conflict. Generational honor, loyalty, and discernment in relationships were essential for social stability. Wisdom and moral integrity were recognized as powerful tools to navigate danger, interpersonal strife, and governance. The contrast between the righteous and the foolish highlights the tangible consequences of folly, pride, and Proverbs 17 reminds us that ethical conduct, relational discernment, and self-control are vital for both personal and communal well-being. Conflict resolution, humility, and wise speech remain foundational for healthy relationships. Family dynamics, loyalty, and generational influence still shape social and emotional stability. The chapter illustrates that folly, greed, and dishonesty continue to produce predictable harm, while wisdom, integrity, and ethical diligence foster lasting benefit in work, family, and society. Linguistic anchorings. The Hebrew text uses strong contrasts, parallelism, and vivid imagery to underscore moral principles and cause and effect relationships. Key terms include hakam, wise, resha, wicked, nephesh, soul, and lashon, tongue. Repetition emphasizes enduring lessons on family, speech, and ethical conduct. The Veritas 365 translation preserves these structures while rendering them in contemporary clear English, suitable for both reflection and practical application. Theological anchorings. Theologically, Proverbs 17 emphasizes God's oversight of both motives and actions. He honors those who act justly, speak truthfully, and maintain integrity within family and community, while exposing folly, deceit, and pride. Divine evaluation encompasses both external conduct and internal disposition. The chapter illustrates that righteousness produces relational and societal stability, whereas wickedness and moral negligence invite predictable consequences and divine displeasure. Key themes: peace over abundance. Harmony outweighs gain when conflict is present. Wisdom and prudence. Discernment protects life, relationships, and reputation. Speech as moral reflection. Words reveal character and shape outcomes. Family and relational integrity. Ethical conduct strengthens generational and communal bonds. Cause and effect. Folly, pride, and deceit produce predictable ruin. Divine oversight. God observes both internal motives and external behavior. Closing thought: Proverbs 17 teaches that wisdom, integrity, and ethical behavior are inseparable from life's practical outcomes. Peace, humility, discernment, and careful speech preserve relationships, families, and communities. Folly, pride, and malice predictably destroy. The chapter calls us to integrate moral principles into daily life, showing that righteousness brings both spiritual alignment and observable real-world benefit. Reflection prompts. Where in your life could peace be prioritized over abundance or gain? How does your speech reflect wisdom, prudence, or folly? Are your relationships being strengthened by integrity or weakened by neglect? How can humility, discernment, and integrity guide your decisions and interactions today?